as Chen said, I'm a geologist with Juggernaut Exploration, forward-looking statement. So Juggernaut has been around since 2017. We have 3 properties. The Midas project just outside the town of Terrace in northwest British Columbia. The Bingo project just next door to Goliath Resources, Sherbet, just about a couple hours north of Terrace. And then the new one that I'll focus on today is the big one project. That's a new porphyry system that we discovered last summer. And yeah, I'll tell you a bit more. As far as people go that are involved in the company, Dan Stewart, he's our CEO. We have Quinton Henney as a technical advisor to the company, myself, the chief geologist, and there's a bunch of other geologists in there as well. So yeah, the Big One property is a brand new discovery. It's located in the Golden Triangle in northwest British Columbia, right next door to Galore Creek. The property is just under 37,000 hectares. A lot of the property hasn't been explored yet. What we found on this property is a lot of gold, these gold veins over an 11-kilometer highway of gold surrounding a glacier that is rapidly retreating. So this whole area has seen a lot of glacial abatement over the last 10, 15, 20 years. So a lot of new rock has been exposed and seen for the first time. So this 11-kilometer highway of gold, I'm not sure if you guys can see the numbers on the screens here, but we do have quite a lot of gold. There is samples that go up to 79 grams per ton gold and over 3,000 grams per ton silver. There's over 200 veins that are exposed. Most of these are are kind of covered by ice or overburden on either side. Some of these are up to 8 meters wide. So these are mineable widths and mineable grades that we are looking at on surface here. The part of the property that we are seeing is just the tip of the iceberg. As you see in this schematic, we have a highway of gold sitting on top there. We have kind of explored to that level where the dashed line is. There is some historic work that was done off to one side where there's, back in the 90s, some companies were in there looking for molybdenum. But the whole idea here is that these veins are peripheral to or related to a porphyry system. We do see a lot of alteration, a lot of indication that we are in a porphyry system. As you can see in this photograph here, we have veins of like magnetite, chloride, quartz within this propylitic alteration halo. So if you look at a schematic of your typical porphyry system, you're probably looking at some of these veins that are kind of peripheral to the main porphyry. We also did some work on the geochemistry, and we found 2 areas that are have a strong signature for this porphyry system. These areas actually overlap. You can see them in the red dashed potatoes here. Underneath that, you see the pink and blue outlines. Those are magnetic anomalies. So we do have the geochemical signature that overlaps with the magnetic signature. So these are probably plugs or something like that could potentially be part of this the mineralized porphyry. Again, I was saying we're right next door to Galore Creek. There's a series of similarities between the two, including the same geologic package. We see the same alteration type that has been reported at Galore Creek, similar structure, etc., etc. So obviously we have the veins. They are by themselves or seem to be mineable. Again, 5 to 10 meters with grades like 10, 15, 20 grams or even more. But what we are really excited about is that, again, we are just looking at the tip of the iceberg here. Like, what else is underneath? Like, can we find this porphyry, and where is it? How deep is it gonna be? Is it 500 meters down, 1,000 meters down? Is it off to one side versus the other? We don't know yet, but that's what we are here for. This is a brand new discovery, right? So there is definitely a lot of stuff that we still have to do. The plan moving forward is to do some more mapping, do a proper geologic map of the area, understand what's going on with these veins, what's the relationship between the various veins, how are the veins oriented, how can we drill these veins, and do we get any indications from the mapping and the work that we can do on the veins that tells us where we have to drill to find the porphyry. And then in 2026, most likely we'll drill the project. We've applied for a drill permit, so we're waiting the outcome of that. And yeah, so that's kind of what we do. I have a few images here that show the various veins. There was one before here. Yeah. So this is one of the larger veins that we have, 5 meter vein on one side, and then kind of on the east side it goes up to 8 meters in thickness. It's shear hosted. You can see in the upper right. Yeah. So this is kind of what the rock looks like. It's a quartz vein, has seams of sulfide in there. So it's pretty exciting when you see this stuff in the field, even without having the results, and then obviously the results is even more exciting. Here again, you see a geologist there for scale. So this is another 4 meter thick veins, very mineable as well. And the grades, again, in this case, 41 grams per ton gold equivalent. So 37, almost 38 grams per ton gold. And there's a bit of silver in there as well. More veins. And yeah, I kind of went over this already. We do have 4 drill targets that are drill ready, but that could definitely change with more work that we'll do this year, and when we develop more targets. The property itself is quite large, so this is just in the northern part of the property. There is a couple other areas you can see on the map there, Payday, Mother Lode, where we have found some indication of more mineralization. So that's going to be part of the program as well, to go in and follow up on some of these targets. An EM survey was flown back in the day on part of the property. There are a few targets that came out from that EM survey, and we haven't followed up on those yet. So we'll do that as well. Yeah, and then the other 2 properties, I'm just going to quickly go to the slides here, since I have a couple more minutes. Midas was one of the properties we've drilled since 2018. We were, in this case, this is just outside the town of Terrace, 10 minutes drive to get to the property. We are looking at a VMS system. We found a VMS system on surface a few years ago. There's an outcrop, so we call the Kokomo showing. It has the typical mineralization that you expect from a VMS deposit, has about 9 grams per ton gold, and it also has 1.5% of copper and about 1.8% zinc. So then obviously we wanted to drill this. We have an IP survey, so we drilled it, we intersected it in one of the holes. Unfortunately, to the south, it pinches out, but it remains open to the north. We don't have the IP survey kind of ends pretty much right at the Kokomo showing there. So to work further to the north, we have to kind of reorganize a bit. There's going to be a bit more mapping that we do there, some prospecting ideas that we have, some other things that we have to check out, but then potentially drill this one again as well. We did intersect 8 grams per ton gold equivalent over 11 meters. And this is right adjacent to a fault. So there is probably more material in there, like right at that fault. And then the Bingo is the other property that we have. This one is just adjacent to Goliath Resources, up by Kitsault there. We drilled this year. We've had some intercept, and we started seeing a lot of potassic alteration. So we are kind of waiting to get the final map finished up for this project, and then we'll see how we move forward with this one as well. And that's it.